Hi everyone, welcome back to the Danifesto. Today I need to talk about something that happened to me today. It was about my own brain, because it was, and it actually it made me stop and go like, hold on, what is going on here? So basically, last night I stayed up to watch the Super Bowl. If you don't know what the Super Bowl is, it's an American football game. But because it's based in America, it's 6 hours ahead or something. So I have to. Oh no, behind. 6 hours behind. 6 hours behind. No, it's behind. So I stayed up to watch the Super Bowl. I know it was a good game. It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. I'm not going to say anything about the halftime show, but we'll let that go. And I went to bed about 3:30ish. I only got like 4 hours, 15 minutes sleep, very precise, but that's what I got. And then I woke up and I'm thinking, right, today is gonna be a write-off, because normally if I'm tired, my ADHD is normally really, really worse. Everything annoys me. I forget stuff, and I can't focus. And my brain isn't like a chaotic group chat where everyone's typing all at once. But today it was the opposite, really, to be honest with you. It was the opposite. Like, I'm going to tell you now, it generally felt like my ADHD had just disappeared. Like, obviously that didn't happen. It didn't just disappear. Well, that's impossible. But it felt like it did. And that's what this episode's about. I'm going to explain what's it, because I know there's going to be people listening to this who's had the same things where you're tired, but your brain goes weirdly quiet. And then you're like, why does my brain only behave when I'm running on fumes? So today my brain was brain fit. It was very, very brain fit. So today we're going to talk about tired focus, calm brain days, and the trap of thinking you found the fix when it's really just a weird brain moment. And I'm keeping it real. I'm not going to make it all medical. I'm not a lecture. I'm just going to show you, how it feels and what might be going on. I have done a bit of research about this, only like 5-10 minutes, and I've just got a little note here. So yeah. So the night before the Super Bowl, late night, bad choices. So let's rewind. The Super Bowl night, I'm up late. It's one of them nights where you keep on saying 1 more minute, and then suddenly it's 3:30, and you feel like, yeah, this is not normal human behaviour. And I knew at the time, I knew that tomorrow was going to be rough. Like, I already mentally prepared myself, thinking, I'll be tired, I'll be slow, I'll be cranky, and my attention will be all over the place. I normally, last year, it's always on a Sunday. I think it was the 9th last year. I watched the Super Bowl, and I watched it the year before as well. So this was my 3rd year watching it. So I've always watched it, something I've always watched and enjoyed. But I went to bed anyway, obviously, because what else are you going to do at 3:30 in the morning? And then I woke up basically with no sleep. I had a little nap, really. And here's the weird bit. I wasn't buzzing with energy. I wasn't like, yeah, let's go. I was tired, but my brain felt just less messy. And I wasn't tired where I wanted to go to sleep, because in the taxi I was falling asleep a bit. But I just felt a bit of peace and a bit of relax. And my brain was just calm. Like, it's a bit weird to go back and think, I've only had 4 hours sleep, but I just feel really calm and just relaxed and composed. But yeah, that was bonkers, that. I didn't know why I felt all relaxed and that, but I went with it. I didn't have a Red Bull as well, because I normally, if I'm planning to stay up late like that, I normally have a Red Bull. But that makes me more tired anyway, so I'm thinking, what's the point of that? So I'm waking up expecting chaos. So I wake up, I'm tired, I'm thinking, right, just survive. I need to just get through school and just try not to get shouted at, and definitely don't fall asleep. Cause I'm not really the type of person to fall asleep in like a taxi or school. But yeah, because that's the thing. When I'm tired, my ADHD usually feels a bit more obvious. Like, I'll forget what I'm doing mid-task, I'll lose track in lessons, and I'll get distracted by everything. And you know when you're in a classroom and there's like a tiny noise or like someone tapping a pen, and in your brain's thinking like, yes, that, I will listen to that, I would think about that, instead of listening to my GCSE work that I'm doing it in less than 100 days. Oh yeah, let's listen to a pen tapping on a table. That is how annoying it is. And also when the teacher says, look at me when I'm speaking to you. And I'm like, my brain is so focused on looking at you that I'm not getting a word that you're saying. Like, that's what I found weird. But when I'm looking away, I can listen more because I'm not focusing. Because it takes all my strength and all my might to just look at someone. Like, it's bonkers. So yeah, I was expecting all of that. But then I get into the day and I'm like, wait, why do I feel like a bit calm? I feel like I'm on medication when I'm not. The weird calm brain day. What it felt like. So let me explain it properly because it is hard to put into words really. So normally my brain is really loud. It's not literally loud, like loud, but like mental loud. Like I've got, what have I got? Like thoughts on top of the other, and just a bunch of random stuff that's flooding through my brain and popping up. And it's always switching between things. It's getting stuck on like one thing, and then I've tried to focus on it to remember it, and then I just end up forgetting it anyway. But today it was like someone turned down the volume and put my concentration up to 100%. Well, maybe not 100 because English didn't go very well. Well, it didn't go very well for me. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, it's like concentration was like 100 in the morning, and like it went down a bit, probably because I'm tired anyway. And I don't mean I felt like a zombie, because I felt like I could hold on to longer thoughts. It's normally like I try to hold on to thoughts and they just slip away, and I'm chasing it like, wait, what was I just doing? Come back. But today it just stayed. It was actually quite nice, you know. And that's the best way I can put all of that into describe it, into my thoughts. It just stayed with me. So maths, I did maths today, and this is where I clocked, because in the morning I had 2 free lessons, so I did a bit of photography work. Photography, it's not the highest subject on my priority list. Let's put it that way. It's just that, you know, if I need to get maths and English like down before I can start focusing on photography and that, but I still need to do it because I picked it and it's my requirements. So yeah, I did photography and that went really smoothly. I knew where all my files was. I didn't get brain fogged. I literally locked. It was like 90 minutes, so I literally looked at my screen and locked in. Like, I don't normally do that. Like, that is really big for me to do that. Like, I just locked in. It was bonkers. Like, it was proper cool. Like, I was like, oh my god. So yeah, and then after that it was maths. So this is the part that shocked me the most. So in maths, I could remember my times tables easier, if that makes sense. Yeah, but I don't like my times tables. I think I know me 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, I know that. I know a bit of me 3s, but I have to write them down, you see, and count in my head, because I don't know. I can't remember them. I've been growing up with them and all that, but I just can't remember. And again, it does sound small that I remembered my times tables, but if you know, you know. Because normally, even if I know something, my brain, it can still hesitate or second guess or even go blank, or it could, it can get distracted midway, and then I'm like, wait, what was that number again? Like, it's bonkers, because I'm literally forgetting everything. But today, I was just there. Felt like I was present. I was with it. It wasn't perfect. Not like I suddenly became Albert Einstein, but like the information wasn't just falling out of my head onto the floor and dissolving into nothing. And then this was the big one where I thought, oh my word, what am I doing? So I'm writing questions in my book, and I turned the page, and I remembered what question I was on without looking back. And you're probably thinking, you taking it? Are you absolutely for real right now? I do that every single day. But like, I've got me like my worksheet with like A, B, C, D, and whatever, and then I've got my book where I write it in and answer it. We're doing algebra as well, so that took a bit of mental, power. So yeah, I was doing that, but then I looked at I, and then it was something like 2x minus 4bcd, something stupid like that. So yeah, I remembered that and opened my book and just wrote it down. But I didn't look again. Like, that is what I find absolutely bonkers. I didn't look again. That was it. So, and it never really happens that when I just do that, because normally, like I've just said, I turn a page and then my brain wipes the previous page like it never existed. And then I'm scanning back, thinking like, oh my God, where am I? There we go. And then I feel stressed because I've got expectations. And then I'm also losing time as well, because my lessons are only 45 minutes. So I'm losing time, and I'm thinking everyone's just looking at me. Well, they're not, but like you think that, like, oh my God, I'm under pressure. And yeah, it is horrible. And also when the teacher says like, watch this, in front of the whole class, and I just normally shout out a random number. I don't know why. Because I don't want to work it out, because I'll be slow. So I don't want to waste people's time. So I just shout out a random number. So they're going to be like, what's 8 times 6? And I'll be like, 514. And they'll be like, whoa, no it's not. And I'll be like, oh, yeah. But today, I just turned a page and I just knew. And I do remember thinking, what is going on? So then I rushed into my form class, and I said to my teacher, I think my ADHD has been cured. And I started screaming like, hallelujah, hallelujah, praise the Lord, and all that. That's the only time I got shouted at, actually. I didn't get shouted at, I just got told. But yeah, that and then other people started joining in the corridor. And then my maths teacher was like, why are you doing that? So that's the only tell-off I had today. So yeah, and then I had a pretty fun day today. I was recording some stuff for the school, for like a careers week. So I've got 3 people down, including me, because I've recorded myself. And then I think we've got another 2 or 3 more to go. I wanted to do it all in one day, set up my camera, the lighting's the same, and just bang, 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 and boom, they're all done. But I think the other people had other plans. Anyway, but this is other little moments. This is easier stuff. And it wasn't just maths, it was other stuff as well. Like, I remember what I was doing without constantly checking. Like, little bits where I normally, like, drift off, but I didn't, It was a bit bonkers. I just started writing something till I get distracted halfway. And, but I stayed with it a bit more. I know we're like 45 minutes and it's not that long to concentrate, but for me, wow, that is hard. And don't get me wrong, I was still me. Like, I wasn't suddenly a different person. I still had ADHD things, but I felt reduced. And at one point, I generally thought, wait, where did my ADHD go? And that thought is dangerous. Because, by the way, because it makes you start questioning everything. The confusion bit. If sleep helps ADHD, why did this happen? So this is where my brain got really, really confused. Because, this was in the middle of it, English actually, because English was at the end of the day. Because I was thinking, because we always get told that sleep helps attention, sleep helps memory, sleep, helps your mood, and it does. I know it does. So why did I feel much better after only 4 hours of sleep? Like, how did this make sense? And you're probably thinking, 4 hours of sleep, that's quite a lot, that. But, like, for me, I normally average, like, a 10-hour sleep. Like, I like me sleep. I'm going to go to bed at 10 and wake up about 8. How many hours is that? 8, 9, 10. That's normally about a 9-10 hour sleep. Could be wrong, but I can't be bothered doing the maths. But I can, because I'm at my brain best. So it's 10. Yeah, about 9-10 hours sleep. And so, yeah, this is where I started thinking about this idea of tired focus. Like, focus that isn't actually, like, healthy focus. It's just a different brain state. My theory: low battery mode. Alright, so imagine your phone. When you put your... So when your phone is on full battery, you've got loads of apps open. You're switching between stuff. Notifications going off, music's playing, you're messaging everyone, and everything is running. And everything's just working fine. But when your phone is on like 10 or 5%, because it normally goes to low power mode on 20%. So imagine 20% or lower. It tells you an option to go to low power mode. And low power mode shuts down background apps. It reduces stuff. Limits you know how smooth it is. They're called your refresh rate. So normally on the pro version it is 120 hertz, but it lowers it to 60, and it just makes it a bit slow, and it limits what's going on with your phone as well. And I think this can happen to your brain too. Like, ADHD is basically a brain with loads of background apps running. I wish I could go to settings and turn it off, but I can't. You have thoughts, simulations, noticing literally everything, and switching loads, like switching back and forth and that. But when you're really tired, your brain doesn't have the energy to keep doing all that stuff. So some of it shuts down. You're not that tired that it all shuts down, but you're tired enough that some of it shuts down, but you don't feel tired because that's probably the department that's shut down. And that I feel like calm. So instead of your brain being like, look at everything, notice everything, think about everything, it's like, nah, we're tired, we're doing one thing at a time. And that can feel like ADHD has just gone, just obliterated out of nowhere. But really, it's your brain running on low power mode. But here's the important part. This is not the secret hack or anything. But now listen. This is the bit where I want people to hear properly. Do not start thinking, oh, I'll just sleep less then. Because you might be calm one day, but you will pay for it later. Because not getting enough sleep isn't a strategy. It's basically borrowing energy from tomorrow. And eventually, tomorrow collects the bills. And for me, when I don't get enough sleep properly, I might be calm for a bit, but later on, I can get really snappy, I can get really emotional, I can get really more anxious, I can get really overwhelmed, brain fogged, I can get annoyed by noises, and everything that, mood swings, everything, like, I'm moody, everything that is your worst trait, it comes to life, and the next day, you're even worse. So, if you're listening and thinking, I wish my brain was like that every day, same, I do, but we can't chase it by running sleep. It's like, it's not a hack, it's like a glitch. The trap, if I can do it today, Why can't I do it every day? And this is where it gets deep. Because when you have a day where your brain works, you feel proud, you feel like, yes, I'm capable. But then the next day, you really struggle and you feel like, what is wrong with me? And people do this where they say, well, you did it yesterday. That sentence, honestly, that sentence messes with your head. Because ADHD is not inconsistent. It's not that you can't do something. It's that you can't always access it on demand. You know, you're offline sometimes. And it's so hard to explain that to people who don't live in your brain, who don't have ADHD. Like, it's not effort, it's regulation. What ADHD feels like normally. Well, for me anyway. So on a normal day, ADHD can, for me anyway, can feel like my brain is jumping between things all the time. I am constantly forgetting what I was doing. Like I could be in the middle of a task, get distracted, and boom, that task is not getting done. I'll be zoning out of lessons all the time. Like, if you're listening and you're trying to listen into a lesson, you won't. That's how annoying it is. I go into English thinking, right, I'm gonna listen to my teacher, and I'm just gonna sit there and listen. So I'm looking, I'm in the lesson. I'm looking at my teacher. I'm like, right, let's start to look at her eyes while she's talking. Right. Let's look at her lips. Right. Yeah, I can see the words coming out. Well, I can't, but you know. Right. What about her ear? Let's look at her ear. Okay, the left one's not working. Let's go to the right. Right. Let's look at her nose. And then I start, getting all like weird detail, like you got a spot, and I'm like, well, why am I thinking all of this when I'm meant to be doing GCSE papers? So yeah, I'm zoning out of lessons. I'm feeling restless all the time. I always struggle to finish things. Like, I will start stuff all the time. Like, definitely new hobbies. Well, that is for another episode. The new hobbies. Wow, I've been through about 500. Right. Anyway, so I'm okay to start stuff, but trying to finish them. Whew. Sorry, I just have to take a minute. Trying to finish a project that I've just started is absolutely impossible. Like, I can't finish something to save my life. I'm always losing my place. Like, in life as well, I get really deep thoughts that I don't think I should be running through. It's more like deep thoughts about, like, where do you go when you die, all this and that. It's not very nice, but you get there, and I've just accepted that. And I'm being distracted by very, very tiny things. And people just think ADHD isn't just, you can't focus. But it's more like focus doesn't obey me. And it comes and goes. Sometimes I can focus for ages on something I like a YouTube video or a football game, 90 minutes. Or, an hour plus pauses for American football. Because when I was watching it last night, I thought, right, between the different quarters and all that, I'm not going to go on my phone. What did I end up doing? Yep, going on my iPad instead. Yes. Sorry, where was I? So, what did I just say? Sometimes I can... Sometimes I can't focus for 2 minutes on something I need to do, really. And sometimes, like today, it just goes weirdly quiet, and I'm like, what? Random good brain days. Most confusing thing ever. Honestly, random good brain days are one of the most confusing parts of ADHD, I would say. If you can relate, send me a message. Because if you get a day where everything just clicks and you're like, this is it, I'm fixed, hallelujah. And then you're not. And then you start thinking, was I lying before? Was I overreacting? Am I just lazy on the other days? And no, you're not. It's just the ADHD inconsistency thing. And I think the inconsistency is why people don't take ADHD seriously sometimes, because they see you do well once and they think, oh, you can do it then, and they don't see what it costs you to physically do it. This is why adults get it wrong. Teachers, parents, adults, they can get confused because they see the output but not the effort. They see you finished loads today, you were very focused today, you were calm today, and then the next day you struggle and they assume attitude. But the real truth is sometimes your brain isn't showing up to the party, and you can be trying the same amount but getting different results. That is why ADHD can feel really unfair. So what do I do with this? So the question becomes, what do I do with this information? If my brain went quieter, then I was tired. What does this tell me? It tells me that I like the feeling of calm. It tells me the noise is it's the hardest parts. And it tells me there might be ways to turn the noise down that isn't, it doesn't stay up till 3:30 in the morning. So the goal, the field goal, it wasn't meant to be a pun, but anyway. So the goal isn't how do I become, proper tired. The goal is how do I get a calm brain in a healthy way? How to get a calm brain without destroying sleep. Alright, so these are some things that help some people with ADHD. It's not magic or anything, it's not perfect or whatever. So the first is movement. Sometimes my brain doesn't need motivation, it needs movement. Like 10 minutes. Either a walk, going upstairs, stretching, running, anything really that moves. Second is water and food. If you don't eat properly, my brain is worse. I feel dehydrated, my brain is worse. Protein in the morning can help some people, but not always. It can. Third, make your memories external. If you keep losing your place, don't rely on your brain to hold it. Use bookmarks, sticky notes, finger on the line, circle the question number, highlight where you are. People think it's cheating. It's not. It's just you supporting yourself. Number 4 is timers. So I don't tell myself do an hour because it feels impossible to do it. To do an hour full of work. So I tell myself, right, do 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It's like American football. Again, going back to I don't know why I'm going. Oh, Super Bowl. There we go. So I have quarters. So do one 15-minute quarter, then another 15-minute quarter, then another 15-minute quarter, and then another 15-minute quarter. There you go. You got an hour. Sick. And 5th is reduce choices. ADHD gets worse when there are too many options. So instead of I need to revise, I need to open the book one step. And there's other stuff like background noise, music, silence, and whatever works for you. But the main thing is you're trying to reduce the load on your brain, because the more your brain has to hold and manage, the noisier it gets. The real lesson, my brain can work, it just needs the right conditions. This is the part that actually makes me feel hopeful, because if the right conditions made my brain feel calmer today, then the point is not that I'm broken, the point is conditions matter. Some days my brain will naturally be more regulated, and other days it won't. But I can help learn what helps me and what doesn't. Instead of blaming myself, I can get curious, not furious. Yeah, read Kit's book. It's very, very good. So you can be curious, like, what time did I sleep? What did I eat? Was I stressed? Was I excited? Was the classroom quieter? Was I moving more? Was I more relaxed because I expected the day to be bad? And that last one is the big, by the way. Because sometimes when you expect yourself to fail, you stop putting pressure on yourself. And that can make you feel much calmer. And pressure makes ADHD worse for me anyway. Might do for you, but it definitely does for me. Pressure, perfection, and beating yourself up. I think lots of people with ADHD don't just struggle with attention, they struggle with shame. Because you've been told off so many times. You've been misunderstood so many times. You've had people say, just concentrate, so many times. So when you have a day where your brain just works and you just feel a bit of relief. And when it doesn't, you feel kind of guilty. And you just want to say, you're not lazy. If you're constantly battling your own brain, that is effort. Even if other people can't see it, if you relate to this, if you were listening and you've had the same things where you're tired but weirdly focused, I want you to know that you're not the only one. It's the most confusing ADHD experiences because it feels like you found the secret, but it's not the secret. It's just a weird brain state. And the real secret is learning what helps your brain feel calmer without burning yourself out. The day my ADHD went quiet. So yeah, that's the story, really. That's my day. I slept 4 hours and 14 minutes, to be precise, don't know the seconds. I needed to stay up watching the Super Bowl. I expected absolute chaos. My brain went quiet. It felt really good, felt really easier. It felt like I could actually hold on to thoughts and not lose my place every 2 seconds. But I'm not taking that as getting really tired and not having enough sleep is good. I'm taking it as proof that my brain changes depending on conditions. And instead of blaming myself on the hard days, I want to understand my conditions a bit more. Because I'm not trying to delete my ADHD. Because ADHD is part of me and it makes me me. I'm trying to work with it. Alright everyone, I appreciate for listening. If you want, message me or comment whatever you're listening on and tell me if you've ever had a calm day, like a calm brain day, like that, especially after a bad sleep, because I swear it is more common than people realise. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share it to someone who might find it useful. That'll be up to you. You might even give them a good thing to listen to. And a bit of news on that secret podcast I'm going on. I'm going on it very, very soon. In next month I'm going. So, yeah, that is very, very, very exciting. I'm still not going to tell you. You'll have to wait for it to come out. It'll be all on my socials when it does come out, because I will be absolutely buzzing. So, yeah, that is it. Remember, like and subscribe and all that. And, yeah, I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. Have a good day.